Hey friends, and happy Monday. Yes, we made it through the weekend. And that's kind of why I wanted to jump on here live, because you may not have seen anything from me over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. As a matter of fact, I didn't post anything on any of my social media on Saturday and Sunday. And so that has to do with what I was doing and how I was continuing to practice self-defense every day. So just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Patti Mason, also known as Pepperspray Patti. I am a women's self-defense instructor, an empowerment coach, and a survivor of domestic violence. It is my mission to empower women and teens to confidently defend themselves in any situation, regardless of your size, age, or physical abilities. And right now we have going on a 30-day self-defense challenge. Now here's the great thing. It doesn't matter when you're watching this video. The 30-day self-defense challenge starts any day that you're ready to get started. And basically what the challenge is make the commitment that every day for 30 days, you're going to do something each day to practice self-defense. Now, what does that look like? Well, that's why I am creating all these videos, so that you have 30 videos that you can watch and get ideas on all the different components and aspects of self-defense that you have the opportunity to practice on a daily basis to, first and foremost, get yourself into the right mindset of what self-defense really is and how there are so many components to it that are so valuable to our life. And so then once you understand all the opportunities that self-defense has to offer and the skills and tools for so many different areas of your life that can come from self-defense, it helps you to not only stay safe and help your family stay safe, but also help you live a better life, which is, what we're all looking for, right? So, what did I do the last 2 days to practice self-defense? Well, let's start with Saturday. Saturday was a crazy busy day, but a truly blessed day. Now, if you are watching this now live or while I'm posting it, you know what's going on in our world. Lots of crazy things going down where businesses are being forced to shut down, and people are encouraged, more than encouraged, highly encouraged to basically stay away from each other. And supply stores like grocery stores and things like that are seeing less and less on their shelves, and people are really having a hard time, not just because there is concern and fear over a virus or an illness or, possibly even death, but also this whole unknown. And on day 3, the video, and of course, you can find that on the YouTube channel, and the playlist is hashtag 30-day self-defense challenge. But what I did on day 3 was share how, we can each take a moment and, just take a moment. First of all, take a moment to take a deep breath. Because there are very few people right now that don't need that. And the next thing is once you've taken that breath, to kind of, do a physical assessment of yourself, starting with your mind and your thoughts, and seeing how what's happening is impacting you and how it's making you feel. And then if there is fear, concern, or worry, find someone to talk to and let that out. Don't hold those feelings and those emotions in, because that will just continue to feed that fear and that anxiety. And there's no time when that is good and healthy. And we don't want that, especially at times like this when it is so important to have a clear mind, to be able to make good, rational decisions on a regular basis while everything is, going like this. It kind of feels like standing in the middle of a room with the strobe light going. It's really hard to concentrate. It's hard to see. But you got to stay focused, and to help, keep that mind clear and your brain not so overwhelmed, talk to somebody. If you don't have someone to talk to, journal it out. But I talked more about this in that video and gave some other tips. And also, remember that this is important, because when it comes to your self-defense, you're going to need to be able to have a clear mind, to be able to look at the situation, assess it, and be able to say, okay, here's the course of action that I need to take. And there may be a situation where you need to do that all in a split second. And so, one, it's about having that clear mind and a survivor mindset, so that you can be more focused in the moment. And then the other key aspect also is to have a plan. I posted this on my Facebook page today. What if? Start asking yourself those questions. What if? What if we are quarantined in our home? What if there is, no income coming in? What if it gets worse? What if it lasts longer? What if, start asking yourself these questions, because if you don't ever ask yourself those questions, then it's really hard for you to have an answer. And the last thing that you want to do is wait until the last minute to try to figure out the answer, which a lot of people right now are going around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or more stores looking for the things that they need. And this is why self-defense is such a big advocate and is so key, centered around planning and being prepared. Okay, all of that just to tell you what I did this weekend. So with all that, on Saturday, first of all, it started out in the morning with a self-defense class. Now, it was kind of one of those last minute things. Do we cancel this? What do we do? Nobody who was registered canceled. So, we were like, all right, well, if everyone else wants this, we'll do this, because, self-defense is kind of one of those things that the more you put it on hold, the more that you run the risk of regretting not taking that class, right? So it's really hard. And you need to know that as not only a self-defense instructor and a survivor myself, but also as a Christian, God-fearing woman, I pray over every class. And specifically the day of each class, on my way to the class, I ask God to make sure that the people who need to be there are there, and that He gives me the words that they need to help them. And so when you arrive to a class and we're not quite sure, what people are thinking and what people want to do, and then you have someone show up who brings, 2 teenagers with them, and they have some real life experiences happening to them beyond what's happening to all of us. And they need that class. it then became a decision of, okay, well, what do we need to do to make sure that everyone's health and safety is made as a priority? We met all those necessities and proceeded with the class. And it was an absolutely wonderful class. And I think each and every one of us that was there got something out of that experience. And, you know, it just is a testimony to how truly blessed I am in my life and this opportunity that I have to share self-defense with all of you, but also because this is, you know, I made this commitment 5 years ago to share and to teach and empower and to equip, because I said enough is enough. I said that I don't deserve to feel this way, and nobody else should ever have to feel this way. And so it is out of that I teach, and that is powerful in helping people to receive what it is that they need. And so that's that, and standing in front of people and talking, and, you know, your brain on for, you know, 2 hours, and physical parts of it and all of that. It is very exhausting and taxing at times. And so I had to take a little break in the afternoon because Saturday evening, again, blessed with an opportunity to help raise money for a nonprofit organization in my community close to home in Zion, Illinois. Princesses and Ladies had their scheduled gala fundraiser for Saturday night. And, you know, here's the reality. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that are out there that are working hard to help empower women and young girls and equip them with confidence and just, you know, and life skills that are necessary to empower them to be a woman who doesn't have to be a victim. And that's what we're all about. And when there's another organization that, you know, matches my mission, I want to help. And so, you know, unfortunately for Princesses and Ladies, this is their big, you know, moneymaker fundraiser. And it just so happened to fall at a really bad time. And so they really had to still, you know, put it on. They had to do something, because if they didn't do anything, then, you know, the organization stops because the money stops. And that's how they're able to provide what they are. And so, you know, knowing that, and knowing that I have the ability to go and participate and contribute, I went, knowing that, you know what, there's other people that can't go that want to go, and I'm able to. And so I went, and 100% so grateful that I did, and so grateful with people that I got to, you know, talk with and just bond with. And what was also great is it was a wonderful opportunity to, you know, just kind of congregate with some people in the community, and it not be about what's happening with the world right now. And it wasn't about, you know, sickness. It wasn't about fear. It was about new life. And it was perfect, because the theme for the event was light in the dark. And I really believe that that is exactly what that event and that evening felt like, was in all the darkness and things that were happening, and the fear and the unknowns. We had this opportunity to come together and shine a light. And so you have that whole day on Saturday of, you know, being in the community. Now, how does that help you to practice self-defense? Well, I ask you to consider that, even though the word self is in self-defense, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is just about you, or just about you and your family, the people in your home, your inner circle. That, practicing self-defense also means a bigger circle, your neighbors. Right now, you're checking in on your neighbors. I know in my neighborhood, I have several homes that are disabled and elderly. And, every day now I have been contacting, my neighbor just to kind of, check in and see how things are going. And in making sure that, that she's okay and that she's safe with everything happening also. And so think about how, here's a perfect example. A lot of times I tell people that, when you get done taking a self-defense class, you need to practice, right? Well, there's usually somebody on your mind as you're going through the self-defense class that you're like, oh man, I wish so-and-so was here, she could really use this information. And not that you can reiterate all that a self-defense instructor gives you in an hour, 2 hour, or 4-hour class, but a great opportunity of how you can share self-defense with others and help others, and how you can practice self-defense through that is by, if there's someone that you think should have taken a self-defense class or should learn something that from either a self-defense class or wherever you got the information, a YouTube video, give them a call, say, hey, I recently took the self-defense class and I need someone to practice with. Would you be willing to help me? And then when they say, sure, I'll help you. What do you need me to do? To be able to have them actually help you practice. Let's say you want to practice wrist grab releases. For that to happen, you kind of have to give them a little bit of information. And so that's your opportunity to kind of, share that. Another thing, going on the example of what I did is, springtime is a big time when you see a lot of the nonprofit organizations having fundraisers, particularly the nonprofit organizations that have something to do with helping women and children, especially with sexual assault, domestic violence, human trafficking. So there are things happening now. Things are kind of put on hold, but April and May, look for an event. Look for your local shelter and reach out. Just about all of them have a Facebook page. Find out what your county organization is. If you don't know what it is or can't find it, reach out to me. I'll help you find the information. They may have a golf outing coming up. They may have a bowl-a-thon, or maybe, whatever, but participate, and help the organizations in your community. And that's, just another way that you can, practice self-defense, because you're helping to empower others. And that is a part of self-defense. So I want to talk about Sunday then. So this should be a 2-part video, but I'm just going to do it all at once. So what did I do on Sunday to practice self-defense? Well, because of the long day that Saturday was, physically and emotionally, and with everything going on, Sunday was a self-care day. And this kind of goes back to what I talked about in the beginning about making sure that your mind is clear so that you have the ability to focus. Sometimes when we get mentally, emotionally, physically exhausted or overwhelmed, we do need to take a moment, and we do need to, rest or do something. So I was able to get my hands into some dirt. That was a little bit of something that brings joy for me. And so getting some seeds going, getting some of my gardening going, that kind of stuff. And then also, you know, just resting, relaxing, you know, laughing, spending time with family, and taking care of things at home. You got to take days like that because, you know, take that moment, recharge your batteries so that, you know, here was Monday came and it was, you know, it was back to the grind. And you need to take that break because if you get burned out, it's going to make it that much harder for you to be able to be aware and pay attention. And realistically, it's not going to work. You're not going to be successful at it. You need to take care of yourself. And so another way that you can practice self-defense is through self-care. Now, I'd like to know from you what kind of things that you do for self-care when you need to kind of give yourself a breather or relax or recharge, and get your brain back to normal, to focus. So comment below and tell me what you do to recharge, and I will see you tomorrow for day 5 of the 30-day self-defense challenge. And hey, if you want to commit to it and do 30 days also, let me know.